There are some advanced strategic concepts that weren't covered in the previous tutorial and that are not really lit up in the tutorials right now. I will explain them here, but someday maybe there will be a clear in-game explanation for that. So the first thing I want to cover is the enchantment. As you may know, we can enchant workers with elemental gems. The first enchantment awakens magical abilities in the worker, and he gets a choice of several spells which we can learn with the matching elemental gem. For example, this guy can learn the fire starter, or this guy can learn fire grenade. This is a very good one. And the ones are labeled with the golden sign are the awakened creatures. But the thing is that you can also enchant stats, and enchanting a stat also automatically gets you the spell of the matching element. When you enchant or get the spell with this menu, the matching stat will be upgraded automatically, but you actually can choose which stat to upgrade. For example, you can drag the fire gem into endurance and it will be upgraded by 1. So, for example, if you want to have more spell power, this guy has a lot, 22. I can make it 23, and his spells will deal even more damage, or the laboratory work will be super efficient, and so on. But if you enchant the matching stat, because there are 6 gems and 6 stats, and each one corresponds to its own gem, it will be increased by 2. So for fire, it's dexterity, which is corresponding usually to melee physical damage, to smithing, and some things like critical damage or movement per turn if it's combined with endurance. So that's about enchanting stats. That's sometimes very important in the beginning because you want to get more food and you will enchant endurance with the multiple gems and get the spells you want. So I'm actually gonna get this spell by enchanting the endurance of this guy, and now it's more damage. And when we get at least one active ability, every other ability is replaced with passives, and they can be acquired in the same manner. And enchanting multiple times with the same gem will upgrade the spell. For example, I could upgrade this to level 2 and it will deal even more damage, but also it would cost more spirit, and some creatures don't have a lot of spirit. So be careful. Okay, another thing I want to tell about is the pool of understandings. We have a list of understandings that we acquired. They get accumulated in that menu, but also we have a deck. Yeah, it's called a deck, not a pool. These are the ones that can be rolled here when you draw understandings. So, and you can find more in the world. For example, this is a mastery upgrade. I can get it just once, but I can get the understanding cards in the world, for example, from some world structure, and increase it to 2 or 3, and it will be rolled multiple times, and I would learn it multiple times. This is a very useful one, by the way. When a worker stays on the same production, he gets +1 efficiency per turn, and so the more the more time you have productions on, the more efficient they will get. Also, you can redraw any time at the cost of some knowledge, and the cost increases every time. So if you don't like what you got, you can redraw, because there's a lot of randomness in that. And sometimes we really want something quicker and not spend too much knowledge. Okay, another thing is upkeep in the Horde objective. As you might know, you have to get 1000 produced resources to complete that objective. But there is a hidden caveat with that, the upkeep. So you get less points for that counter the more creatures you have. So I have a bunch of creatures, like 9, and it's less efficient due to the upkeep. So, and if I have like 20 creatures, it would be super not efficient, but perhaps all these 20 creatures are super high in production, so that might still work. Okay, and another quite an important tactical thing is the way you can program your creatures to cast spells automatically. Let me show you. For example, if you don't decrease something, I increased the knowledge production before, so I got it back. So there is a way to make your workers cast abilities automatically. So this guy has a poison dart, but for example, you don't have orders to cast it. Now I have, but let's say you don't. You won't be able to cast this on your enemy of your choice. But you can postpone that until the next sub-turn and get the order point from the next turn instead of that turn. This is done with Autocast abilities. You can set anything to Autocast by right-clicking the ability icon, and the next resolution, it will be casted automatically. This is shown with this green marker. Like it will be cast at the step 1. So it's quite useful to do this. I can demonstrate that, but this boar will destroy my guy. Oh well. Anyway, let's just see how it looks. I press enter, and he cast it by himself. And he will use the order point, and you will get 1 order less next turn. He actually managed to survive because he was too far, so good. And he gonna autocast it once again. So that's autocasting. It's really useful. And one last thing I wanted to show you is the attack estimations. If you hover your worker, you will see on enemy health bars how much damage he can do with his regular attack. Same way it goes for enemies. So this guy has only around 12 attack, 9 blunt, and 3 lightning. And this boar has 16 pierce and 30 blunt damage. And you can see that he deals half of HP damage to all my creatures. And this guy has a bit more damage, and he would kill this boar in 2 hits, as you can see on his health bar. The same goes for skill costs. They are displayed on the spirit bar, on the blue bar, around the creature. And the yellow bar is just experience. Another thing is movement prediction. When you hover a creature or enter the strategic mode, you see estimations of movement of all the creatures on the map. For example, this guy will jump to battle, and this guy, this boar, will just stay here. This perhaps that means that he's going for one turn and then dies from attacks. This guy. Let's move him and see what estimations will look like. So he moves in the way of the boar. So to quickly activate strategic view and display all the movement estimations, you can click Control. Now you see what is every worker is attached, is assigned to, and also you quickly see the trajectories. And also you see all the action ranges of enemies, so you don't accidentally jump and into aggression range. So this is all I wanted to tell for now, and see you next time. Thank you.